Hello, comic book fans. My comic book name is Justice Boy, bringing law and order to the entire internet. That's just sort of an inside comic book joke for all of the comic book readers viewing this video. Let's start off right off the bat. Stan Lee was a visionary man. He had many bold, creative ideas. There's no doubt about that. And by all accounts, he was a gentleman. He even had appearances in some of the Marvel movies on the big screen. He was in some motion pictures. And of course, if you're making a cameo in a motion picture, you must have at least done some good in your life. But I want to talk about something that is often swept under the rug, one of the more negative aspects of Mr. Lee's legacy. Stan Lee dealt in fantasy, complete and utter fiction. Nothing that he made was real. None of it was real. It was all a fantasy world. I'm a man that is very firmly attached to reality. I live in reality. Pragmatism, that's my middle name, basically. But Stan Lee, that wasn't the case. When I see something that is fake, I can easily tell it's fake. Like when I see a blind guy that can all of a sudden see because the rain's falling down on him, I immediately say that's bogus. It doesn't fool me for a minute. So Stan Lee, he creates all of this fantasy, and the thing is, people that became addicted to these shows, that loved it, they couldn't they couldn't understand that. They couldn't understand this was fantasy. They couldn't handle it, these people. They couldn't hold down jobs. They couldn't contribute anything to society. Many of the people that became so addicted to the comic book world that Mr. Lee had created. And that, of course, presents a major problem for society. When you have people that are running around trying to become a spider, trying to become a bat, that's going to create just think about the ecosystem. If you have actual spiders, actual bats, they all play a role in the ecosystem, just as humans now play a role in the ecosystem. So if you have some person inspired by these comic books trying to take the place of a bat, trying to take the place of a spider because he now believes he can gain some sort of superpowers, you're going to offset the entire ecosystem. And that's probably at least part of the reason for a lot of the wildfires. But Stan Lee, the negative aspect of his legacy is that people are so entrenched in this fantasy, they can't get jobs, they can't contribute because they're always thinking about this fiction, this nonsense. They're always trying to pour water over themselves, and they got their eyes closed, and they try to see their environment with their eyes closed, like the Daredevil. Fantastic Four comes along and people go wild. Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, they created this Fantastic Four, and it really started putting them on the map. And people, they go wild on it, but problem is people start calling it Fantastic Five and writing all these fan fictions and putting themselves as the fifth member. So then they go to apply for a job, and one of the things they put on their resume is, I'm the fifth member of the Fantastic Four, and the boss trying to do the hiring at the job says, get out. There's nothing fantastic about you. Get out of here. So when I look at Stan Lee's legacy, sure, I hope you don't come away from this video thinking that I'm saying Stan Lee is a bad man. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying that, as he wrote in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Well, with great consumption of comic book content comes great responsibility. And many of the people that love the comics, they just can't handle it. I hate to say it, I hate to be the bad guy that makes the critical video. I hate to be the one that has to do that, but somebody has to do this. Somebody has to not be scared to make a video like this, to shed some truth, to put some light on the world. And the fact of the matter comes down to many of the people so addicted to these comic books and this comic book world, they just can't handle